and welcome to Gate to Wire. I'm Bruce Casella. Danny has the day off, so we have Dick Jerardi with us. Hi, Dick.
Hi, Bruce. What's happening?
Not much. Trying to relax and get over the big weekend we had at Parks Racing. What a big weekend of racing in Parks, Dick. PA Day at the races on Friday with three big stakes races. And then on Saturday, Pennsylvania Derby Day, seven big stakes races, including the 1 million Grade 1 Pennsylvania Derby and the 1 million Grade 1 Cotillion Stakes. Dick, how'd you see it all?
I thought it was some show. I thought it was an interesting idea by the racetrack, the racing office, and Brian Sanfratello from the breeders to try something new, right? With PA Day at the races on Friday. So you make it basically a big weekend. We're talking 11 races on Friday, 15 more on Saturday, so 26 races. And it might take a little while for the public to figure it out because typically Parks does not race on Fridays. But I think the idea, you're trying anything to increase interest in the whole weekend. And that's what they did. And obviously Saturday was a gigantic success. Again, couldn't have had better weather. 11 races, again, Friday, 15 on Saturday, starting a little after 11 a.m., ending a little before 7 p.m. It's not a day I can remember anything quite like it, Bruce, just because of the time of the events and all the races and the big fields and all the money. I mean, $4 million worth of purses. It was something.
Yeah, it sure was. And we had the PA Derby broadcast on NBC Sports Philadelphia with yourself, Lafitte Pingai, Maggie Wolfendale, Danny, and then the Maniac. How'd that go for you?
I thought it went really well. Now, I haven't actually had a chance to watch it as we're talking until you actually see it. When you're in the middle of it, you don't get a great sense. I mean, you've done enough television. You know how it works. You're just trying to get to the next segment and do the best you can during that segment. But yeah, I felt like overall it seemed to go fine. It was great working with Terrence and the truck and Mike Mulligan and the guys. Of course, you put the whole thing together. But yeah, Lafitte's wonderful to work with, easy to work with. You'd think we work like 10 times a year rather than once a year because it's pretty simple to work with. And of course, Maggie's a pro, and it's nice to have Danny on the show as well.
Right. Well, I thought we take advantage of that big weekend and on Gate to Wire and go back and look at the races, get some post-race stuff. And so here you go. This is Friday and Saturday at Parks Racing.
Off and racing in the Bet Parks Pennsylvania Derby. Good start for this field of 10 on the inside. So Sandy broke alertly, happily delusional, goal-oriented. He's up to join them. David of Athens, Gosger. They go by the finish line for the first time. David of Athens presses the issue with So Sandy to the outside. Goal-oriented. Altobelli skims the rail. Magnitude. Big Trust. They're in very tight. Gosger goes a little bit wide. Then it's Baeza, followed by Moplex, and happily delusional takes off the pace. So Sandy leads the way. His 3/4 of a length over David of Athens. Goal-oriented. Tracks in third. He's in the clear. Then it's a wall of horses chasing behind. Gosger right in between Magnitude. Altobelli, he's in on the rail. Baeza's unhurried. Then to his outside, Moplex. And at the back, happily delusional. So Sandy goes through an opening quarter, 23 flat. They head down the backstretch. So Sandy continuing to press the issue. David of Athens, goal-oriented. He holds his spot in third. Then it's Magnitude to his outside. Gosger right in between horses. Big Truz. They continue on 46-3 with less than a half mile to go. And So Sandy has been resilient, but he has had plenty of company. Goal-oriented on the outside, ups the tempo. In between horses, David of Athens, he's persistent as well. On the outside, Gosger is beginning to move, and Baeza, he's gotten the cue. He's making up ground with every stride. Goal-oriented is taking the lead as they go around the far turn in the Pennsylvania Derby. Looming on the outside, Baeza, he's continuing to rally, and it's Goal-oriented who hits the top of the stretch with the lead. Goal-oriented, Baeza continuing to charge at his outside. So Sandy, he's not done, he's fighting on. Baeza up to confront Goal-oriented. Goal-oriented is fighting on gamely. Magnitude's on the scene late. It is Baeza who is kicking clear. There's a 16th left, and Baeza, Magnitude flying late, but Baeza gets his moment in the sun in the Pennsylvania Derby.
That had to be so gratifying.
Oh, absolutely, and gratifying is the exact right word to use because he's been so close, and we felt he had so much talent, and he could win one of these. So I'm just so happy it was today in the Pennsylvania Derby. I watched the tape of all the Pennsylvania Derby winners over the last 20 years, and there've been some fabulous horses that have run in this race. So I'm really proud of Baeza today.
You should be. And talk a little bit about his trip. You know, I thought he settled so beautifully. And when Hector tipped him out, he was there every inch of the way.
Yeah, no, I thought so too. He broke okay. He was a little back, but Hector didn't let him relax. He kept him in it, right? He kept him connected with the field.
Yep.
And then down the backside, he kind of inched up and got himself in a better position. And I was telling Hector, you know, in the paddock, I said, you know, this race track sort of rides like a turf course, right? You have to be loaded at the top of the lane, and then you have to be very patient and use it just at the right time.
And boy, did he deliver. Congratulations. I know how closely you work with all of your horses, and here's Hector now. Job well done, sir.
Master. Thank you so much. I appreciate it for the opportunity.
Racing in the cotillion. Good start for this field of 7. La Cara, speed right out of the gate. Indy Bay, good cheer. Dry Powder, 4. All have some speed, and Dry Powder hustles up to assert herself early as they go into the first turn. Dry Powder goes a bit wide. La Cara, she skims the rail. Then it's Indy Bay. Scottish Lassie settles in pretty tight on the rail, and the white blinkers, good cheer. She's into 4th. Then it's Clico. She's unhurried. She's into 6th. Our Daydreaming Girl, she's at the back, 7th and last. They go through the first turn, 23-3 the opening quarter, and La Cara, she has a half-length advantage on the outside. Dry Powder tracks in 2nd. Then it's Clico, good cheer. She moves up into 3rd. Indy Bay still in on the rail. Then back to Scottish Lassie. She and Daydreaming Girl, they're in no rush. They're at the back. And La Cara continues to set the pace with pressure from Dry Powder. 47-1. La Cara, she leads the way. Dry Powder sticks with her. Then it's good cheer. Clico in between. Indy Bay, she's in 3rd. She's in on the rail. Scottish Lassie beginning to inch a little bit closer. Nothing yet from our Daydreaming Girl. They head into the far turn, and La Cara, she's faced on the outside by Dry Powder. They head through the far turn, 47-1 for the half. La Cara under pressure from Dry Powder now. They're on even terms. Clico, she's in 3rd, beginning to gain. Then it's back to good cheer. Scottish Lassie, she's into 5th. Our Daydreaming Girl, she's getting in gear from the back. And on the front end, it is Dry Powder. She's running a huge race. La Cara continues to fight on. Clico found her momentum down the center of the track, and our Daydreaming Girl, she is gaining late, flying down the center of the track. Clico with a narrow lead. Our Daydreaming Girl continues to charge. A 16th left. Clico trying to hold off. Dry Powder to the inside, fights on. Clico down to the line. Get that champagne ready. Clico's the winner of the cotillion.
Brendan, I know you guys are confident coming in here with Clico, but she really stamped herself as a top 3-year-old filly.
Yeah, huge question for her today, Maggie, taking on these fillies, but you know, she kept improving all year, and we knew she was sitting on a big one. It was a question of whether it was going to be big enough, and for her, it's all her. I mean, she's just a star.
Off and racing in the Gallant Bob, a good start for this field of 10. Neo Equos with some early speed. Madhouse out to join him, and Madhouse comes up to take the lead. Fire Pit, the gray, goes with him. Then chasing him in between horses, Donut God, he's into 4th. Gateskeeper, Friday Surprise forward lead place. And it's Retribution, followed by Alchemism. Then Waxbox has 1 beat, and that is the heavy favorite, Barnes, who is 10th and last. As they head on with a half mile to go, 21-2. And leading the way, Madhouse, he's under pressure from Fire Pit as they head towards the far turn. They're kicking clear from the field. On the inside, Madhouse, Fire Pit, and on the outside, beginning to move, Neo Equos, he's into 3rd. The Gateskeeper, he's in between horses. Donut God, he's 5th. Then it's Retribution as they go around the far turn, leading the way. Madhouse and Fire Pit, these two have been in tandem throughout. Barnes is getting in gear from the back, but he has so much work to do. Madhouse, Fire Pit, these two, nothing really separating them. Gateskeeper on the outside, he's making up some ground. Retribution's found his stride. Barnes down the center of the track has so much work to do, and it's Madhouse who has a 16th left. Fire Pit chases gamely on the far outside. Barnes, and it's going to be Madhouse. Madhouse gets the win, an upset in the Gallant Bob Stakes.
4th win in a row for Madhouse. He is doing so well right now.
He is. I'm really proud of the colt. Like I said, took him a long time to come into himself, but he's getting it figured out now, and he's showing what he's got.
I was gonna say, he looks so confident out there. He has an abundance of speed, and he uses it to his advantage.
Yeah, he gets a little worked up, but he calmed down a little bit once he got on the racetrack and did his job.
Have you been to Parks before?
No, this is the first time I've been here.
This is amazing. Primarily based at Canterbury, Midwest.
Yeah.
How cool is it to just be here in this winner's circle on such a big day with a horse like this?
Very, very fun. It was a nice experience.
Off and racing in the Parks Sprint. Good start for Damon's Mound. Bucarino broke alertly, and these two throw it down early. Damon's Mound, Bucarino, Maximus Meridius joining the party. Hold My Bourbon wants to say as well. That's Full Moon Madness. Followed to the outside, Caramel Chip to his inside in the orange Bernie's mitts. Then it's 24 Mamba, and at the back is Bump and Run. And the battle on the front end rages. Maximus Meridius puts his neck in front. Bucarino goes with him on the outside. Damon's Mound in the pink silks. The gray Hold My Bourbon. They zip through an opening quarter, 22 flat, and head into the far turn. Maximus Meridius under pressure from Bucarino. Damon's Mound looms to the outside. They are beginning to inch away from the rest of the field. Then it's Hold My Bourbon. Caramel Chip, he's under a drive. Bernie's mitts. Full Moon Madness is in on the rail. 24 Mamba still at the back. Bump and Run, and 3 across the track. It is a 3-horse battle. Maximus Meridius, Bucarino, Damon's Mound. The half 44 and 2. 3 hit the top of the stretch together, trying to come up the rail. Hold My Bourbon. He's full of run on the outside. Full Moon Madness, Caramel Chip, Bucarino, and Maximus Meridius. They are going on. It's Bucarino who has the lead, but the closers are coming. Damon's Mound, Full Moon Madness. Bucarino is game. There's the 16th left. Bucarino trying to hold them off, and Bucarino shows his class and shows his heart, and Bucarino wins the Park Sprint.
What a heart of a champion. How much does it mean to meet at home with your family here?
Oh, forget about it. It's no comparison. It's no word to say it, you know. He's a tough horse. He run hard. He give it whatever he got.
Well, I know you're day in and day out in the barn, Freddie. You've done a fabulous job with them. Congratulations and enjoy your win.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
They go through the far turn, top of the stretch. Dilger says, come and catch me on the outside. Coastal Mission trying to do just that. Coastal Mission trying to reel in Dilger. Nelson Avenue looks for a seam in between horses. He's running a big race as well. Dilger trying to fend them off on the outside. Nelson Avenue gaining with the 16th left. Nelson Avenue has found his stride. Dilger fights on. Nelson Avenue up in time in the Park Start Mile. Mystic Lake has some company coming. Carmelina, Volleyball Princess. They have their sights set on her as they go around the far turn. And leading the way, Mystic Lake. Carmelina, she's in second. Volleyball Princess. Then it's Factor Bella, a big gap back to Confirmed Star. Making up a bit of ground, Bella Queen, but she has her work to do. And at the back now is Beach Days. And Mystic Lake has shaken them off so far. The half, 44 flat. Volleyball Princess swings to the outside, trying to make things interesting. At Mystic Lake, she's led throughout. Volleyball Princess continues to game. Carmelina running a big race to the outside. Mystic Lake, that lead is dwindling. There's the 16th left. Volleyball Princess keeps on coming. Bella Queen's on the scene late. Mystic Lake, she is going to go gate to wire. Double Your Money puts his neck in front. Digital Ops tries to counter. No Bien Nimal, he's gotten the cue and he looms on the outside. He revs up as they go around the far turn. Digital Ops is dropping back. Double Your Money has that lead, but now he has to contend with No Bien Nimal. Praetorian Guard has some momentum as well. They go around the far turn and all out Double Your Money. He's done all of the heavy lifting, but now he has to contend with No Bien Nimal. Looms to his outside. Double Your Money not giving up, but No Bien Nimal puts his nose in front. They're well clear of Praetorian Guard. There's the 16th left. No Bien Nimal has put away a stubborn Double Your Money, and No Bien Nimal, he's great in the Greenwood Cup. Beyond Expectations let out a notch, and now he has some daylight over 4 rivals chasing as they go through the far turn. It's still Beyond Expectations who leads the way. Come Prima swings to the outside, trying to reel him in, along with Silhouette Cove. Beyond Expectations trying to fend them off. Come Prima grinding away in second. On the outside, Silhouette Cove. And Beyond Expectations has kept them at bay, but company is coming. Come Prima with a late rally on the outside. Beyond Expectations is game on the lead. Will not let Come Prima by. Come Prima one more swing down to the line. Beyond Expectations, Come Prima.
It was kind of a wild stretch ride. What'd you say?
Yeah, it was. They were both trying hard. My horse had a momentum, and that horse just came out. And like I say, I mean, you know, we took a shot, and the stewards felt that he did come out. And I do think if he stayed straight and my horse stayed straight, I would have nipped him at the wire.
Marilyn M., Angel of Hope, has kept her company throughout. Up and Running, Double Arrow. Those two are in tandem. Then it's Carousel Queen. She's improved to 5th. Little Cocoa Bean has dropped back last. And Angel of Hope trying to shake off a stubborn Marilyn M. She now has the lead. Up and Running has her sights set on her. All the while, Carousel Queen revs up on the outside. Now 3 across the track. On the inside, Angel of Hope up and running. Carousel Queen full of run. She hits the top of the stretch. Carousel Queen has the lead to the inside. Up and running. Angel of Hope, she's back into 3rd after checking on heels. But it's Carousel Queen who has that lead. Chasing in 2nd, Up and Running. Carousel Queen kicking clear with the 16th left. And Carousel Queen and Michael Sanchez, they're going to take the Imply Stakes in style.
And what was it about her? I mean, you've had 14 races. She's always been competitive. What was it about this spot you thought this would be the one?
Well, her going into her last race, she really started picking things up, and she ran a really good second. Michael, she's kind of a hard horse to ride. Michael rode her very well that day. That little break we had in between going into this race kind of really put things together for her. She worked tremendous, like 2 works in a row, so we were real confident.
Drop line continuing by himself. 90% Maddie holds in second. Houghton shuffle to the outside. Kohlers, then it's Market, Maven, Wildvine has one beat, and that's Capo, who's dropped back pretty abruptly. They go now into the far turn, and Dropline has led from the jump. 90% Maddie continues on in second. Wildvine from off the pace, he's got in the queue. He's making a big rally up the inside. Dropline, 90% Maddie, Wildvine, Houghton Shuffle, and Kohlers, they're all chasing. Dropline as they go through the far turn. 46-4 for the half, and Dropline has that lead, but Company is coming. 90% Maddie has been resilient, and Wildvine continuing with that big rally, 3 across the track. 90% Maddie running a huge race. Wildvine in between has wrestled the lead away. On the outside, no quitting. 90% Maddie, he comes right back. On the inside, Wildvine, 90% Maddie, Wildvine, they take it down to the line. Photo for the win.
90% Maddie, such a cool horse, Butch, to get a stake win without how much does that mean to you?
Yeah, really like it. It's been a great horse, a hard knocker. Tried everybody in New York last year, and in the top sprint races up there, and he gave it his all every time. And actually, we did a little switch. We put blinkers on him this time after, rare for a 5-year-old to get some blinkers, but it seems like it did the trick.
Brian, what was the thought in moving PA Day at the races to the day before the Pennsylvania Derby?
Well, we wanted to have a big weekend for Pennsylvania, so Jeff Matty from the PTHA and Joe Wilson and I decided that it'd be a good idea. We'll give it a shot and see what happens, and looks like it worked.
So you got 11 races for PA Breds today, one more stake as we're talking. How cool has it been from your perspective?
Oh, great. $790,000 in purses. We had over 400 breeders up on the third floor today, and it was a fantastic day.
Well, Dick, there you have it. Wow, what great racing at Parks. I can't wait for it to come back next year. Final thoughts for you on those 2 big days.
Yeah, again, the racing was terrific. The biggest takeaway I had is that you watch a guy like John Sharrows, trainer of Baez, who's been in the game for more than a half a century. This is clearly one of the best horses he's ever had. Obviously, he had Zenyatta won the Derby with Giacomo, but you could see how much John wanted this and how excited a guy who just turned 80 was to win the Pennsylvania Derby. He loved how he was treated at Parks. And I texted him on Monday to congratulate him. I got a chance to see him Saturday. And here's a guy that's seen everything in the game. And it felt to me like he was as excited about winning this Pennsylvania Derby with Baeza, they've been so close all year, as any race he'd ever won. And he actually said that. He said it was as exciting as all those races Zenyatta won. That told me a lot. And also John said he went back and watched the last 20 PA Derbies and kind of marveled at how talented and good the horses were that have won this race. And even, Bruce, there's horses that have been in the race that didn't win it, that went on to be Horse of the Year. I mean, California Chrome didn't win it, but he was Horse of the Year twice. I mean, Gunrunner didn't win the PA Derby. He went on to be Horse of the Year next year. So even the horses that don't win it, it's some race. And I think Baez is going to go on, hopefully, to show just how good he is in the future.
I thought the Parks management, Joe Wilson, Rich Romano, and the gang all did such a great job putting those races together. Dave O, just amazing.
And no question, again, major credit to the racing office and management, as you said, Joe and Rich and the whole crew, because they put so much into this day. I mean, for them, it's like a year-round endeavor to get ready for that. Typically a second or third Saturday in September, depending on how the calendar falls. But yeah, it's everybody at the track, the PTHA people, everybody's in on making this as big as it can be. And every year, it's the biggest race day in the country in September on Pennsylvania Derby Day. And that's something for a track like Parks.
Well, DJ, thanks for joining us here on Gate to Wire. Appreciate it.
You got it. Thanks, Bruce.
All right, guys. Take care. We'll see you next week on Gate to Wire.